Let's talk about how to catch errors now. Okay, this is super important because this essay is very high stakes. Okay. So if you turn in your Great Gatsby essay or your Frankenstein essay or your Things Fall Apart essay or like whatever, your English teacher can look at it, and if there are grammatical mistakes or errors, take some points off and that's it. But this is more than that. This is not for a grade. This is showing the school a really important impression of you, and it needs to be perfect, to be honest. These essays, there's no excuse for grammatical mistakes or spelling errors in these essays because you have a lot of time to work on them. So it is super duper important that it's totally error-free. So let's talk about how to make that happen. The first way, of course, is to make sure that you're spell checking, okay? And make sure you turn on whatever spell check you got and just see. And you have to be careful because sometimes like it's got to have the right there, or there. It's got to have the right to or to. And sometimes the spell checkers don't catch that. So one of the ways that I want you to check that is by reading the essay out loud, okay? This is going to be one of the most helpful tools for you in the editing process is reading it out loud because you have to slow down when you read it out loud. It's a different brain process, so your brain will be firing differently as you're reading out loud and speaking rather than just reading. And you are going to hear a lot of the mistakes, okay? Or you're going to hear where it needs a comma or where it doesn't need a comma. You're going to hear the way that your sentences flow and be like, oh, that wasn't it. So reading it out loud, it might seem strange to like read it out loud by yourself, but that's what I want you to do. You can also have someone read it out loud to you. That's a really helpful technique as well. And take your own notes, super helpful. That's actually really saved a lot of my students' bacon in the past. That's a really good plan. And then the other thing, of course, is to have someone edit it for you and take a look. And I would recommend that they not just make changes. They need to show you what the changes are that you should make, and then you evaluate whether that's a change you want to make or not. So, if it's the wrong there, for example, if you needed THERE, but you spelled it THEIR, like that's catchable, right? But if they're making content changes or saying maybe this sentence should go here, or maybe this should flow differently, or add this word here, definitely check. Don't let them just edit your thing. Check it yourself first. So those are all ways that I want you to do kind of the first round of editing. And that's really going to help you at least get a baseline. The advanced editing we'll talk about later. But as far as basic editing, spelling, grammar, it's all got to be really, really tight.